Jade Cargill just made a reveal that has fans asking a lot of questions and wondering what's going on. We'll also check out what's new for Sami Zayn and more. Starting things off with everything new for Jade Cargill, because things here has fans scratching their heads. So right around early summer, Jade Cargill wins the Queen of the Ring tournament, which booked her into a guaranteed world title match at Summerslam against Tiffany Stratton. The feeling amongst the community back then was that Summerslam would be the crowning moment for Jade Cargill. She'll finally become women's champion and take off as the company's next biggest star. But to everyone's surprise, Tiffany Stratton retained, and that was one of the biggest eye-opening moments of SummerSlam. So then everyone figured that maybe they were going to build up some more momentum for Jade Cargill before she actually won the title. Tiffany made it clear that she won and how Jade had to go to the back of the line. And then on last week's SmackDown, we saw Jade and Tiffany versus Jax and Becky Lynch in a tag team match that saw Jade pin Jax for the win. And now on the August 29th edition of SmackDown, we got another big reveal that's a bit confusing and has the community's heads all spinning. Jade Cargill comes up to Tiffany Stratton and reveals she spoke with Nick Aldis, and because Jade got the win in the tag team match the week prior, that makes Jade Cargill the new #1 contender for the women's title. And it's not like Jade pinned Tiffany in the tag team match. Maybe she would have had a better case at being the #1 contender if that's what happened. But Tiffany and Jade were actually teammates, so Jade getting a #1 contender spot from a tag team match where she was teaming up with the women's champion, that's definitely not something you see every day. That's a bit weird. But it looks like the narrative and explanation they're going with is that Jade and Jax were the two top contenders for Tiffany's title. So since Jade pinned Jax, another top contender, that is why Jade is now the #1 contender for the women's title again. There's a lot of holes to punch through here with this logic. Jade Cargill just lost cleanly in a world title match at SummerSlam, and even after that clean loss, she doesn't fall to the bottom of the rankings. Jade Cargill remained as a top challenger for the women's title despite being fresh off a clean loss, and all she had to do was pick up a tag team win to reclaim the #1 contender spot again. This is a problem because of the logic issues and inconsistencies that it presents. Liv Morgan never got a rematch for the title after she lost it to Rhea Ripley back in January. Liv lost the title match cleanly and was put truly in the back of the line, and it was a challenge for her to try and climb back up the standings again. Roman Reigns, the champion of over 1,300 days, loses his title and never got a rematch for the title since he was put to the back of the line. But here Jade Cargill loses a world title match and her position in the standings were not affected by the loss. She basically remained as the #1 contender even after losing that SummerSlam title match. So that's the main issue fans have here, that the way Jade immediately became #1 contender again and found a way immediately back to the front of the line is just pretty weird, not really much logic there. Fans think it's because the SmackDown women's division, especially up top in the world title picture, is absolutely depleted. The world title picture in the SmackDown women's division is just really 3 stars, Tiffany, Jade, and Jax. That's your entire singles division on the SmackDown women's roster, just 3 people. Fans think that could explain Jade's sudden and weird rise, right back up to being the #1 contender while being fresh off that big loss. So it looks like another Tiffany versus Jade match for the women's title is set to take place sometime in the near future. And the vibe in the community heading into this second match is the same way it was heading into their first SummerSlam meeting. Everyone is once again expecting Jade Cargill to defeat Tiffany Stratton for the women's title. They caught everyone by surprise with Tiffany retaining at SummerSlam. That worked the first time, but there's just no way they set this matchup again just for Jade Cargill to get pinned cleanly again by Tiffany Stratton. No way Jade suffers another loss like that to Tiffany. So that's why fans once again feel confident that this rematch will now be the one that Jade Cargill wins in order to end Tiffany's undefeated streak and dethrone her as women's champion. With this rematch now being on the way, fans think it's over for Tiffany Stratton's title reign. Another thing that fans feel like is hurting the interest levels of Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton is the absence of any real storyline between the two of them. These women have been feuding with each other basically since July, and they still have absolutely zero actual story between the both of them. So that's hurting the flow of the feud as well. Would have been more captivating if there was an actual plot going on between Jade and Tiffany. They didn't want to pull the trigger on crowning Jade Cargill at SummerSlam, but it surely looks like with them booking the rematch, maybe they'll be ready to make it happen here in the second match. But this feud and situation here is once again another clear sign that the SmackDown women's division is hurting real bad due to depth issues. There's literally no one else for Tiffany Stratton to feud with on SmackDown besides Cargill and Jax, 2 women who she always defended against. So that division is in desperate need of some help, some depth, or a draft altogether. But even if a draft is still far away from happening, bright spots are still potentially on the way. Bianca Belair is still rumored to be returning soon. Bianca has been dealing with broken fingers since April, but the word has been for a while that she's getting closer and closer to returning. So honestly, Bianca's return could breathe a bit of fresh air into the SmackDown Women's division that could buy them some more time until whenever the next draft is. Especially if Jade Cargill just so happens to be Women's Champion when Bianca Belair returns, that'll really make things interesting. Unlike Jade versus Tiffany, Bianca versus Jade would have all the story in the world to pull in interest from the fans. So if they do put the title on Jade Cargill here in the near future, they could be setting up that feud with Bianca Belair after all. This conversation sounds pretty much identical to what we were saying prior to Tiffany and Jade's SummerSlam match, but that's just where everything is still at. There hasn't really been any story progress in the feud, they're just doing a simple rematch, so that's why the theories and idea also haven't made much progression either. So the community is kinda at the same spot we were at heading into their SummerSlam match. We'll have to see if Tiffany can sneak past Jade again, or if this will mark the beginning of Jade's title reign. Speaking of title changes, that's what we just saw between Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa. Ever since coming over to SmackDown, Sami Zayn has reignited his rivalry with Solo, and even pinned him on a few occasions. Those pins eventually led to Sami becoming the #1 contender for the United States title, which led to what we saw on the August 29th edition of SmackDown, where Sami Zayn pinned and defeated Solo Sikoa to become the new United States champion. It's a surprisingly short title reign for Solo Sikoa, coming in at just under 30 days, not even a month as champion. So you got fans wondering what's going on with Solo, because it felt like his United States title reign was short, and filled with nothing but pinfall losses. So why did Sami Zayn win it here in this spot? Fans believe that Sami won the title from Solo as a way to intensify the narrative of Sami becoming a world champion and Grand Slam champion. With Sami's win of the United States title, he now only needs a world title victory to become a Grand Slam champion. So it looks like they wanted to give him the US title in order to make the world title victory be that final big obstacle that's left to check off for Sami's career. That's what it looks like they're really setting up here. So once Sami drops the US title, they're going to fully dive into the whole narrative of Sami needing to win the world title in order to become a Grand Slam champion. In 2023, Sami was challenging Roman for the title. It was as close as he could be to a world title, but he didn't win it. Then in 2024, Sami made some vows to come after the world title, but ended up winning the Intercontinental title. And now in 2025, Sami once again spent a lot of time in that feud with Karrion Kross, talking about winning the world title, but won the United States title. So Sami often gets off track for his world title aspirations, but it looks like since that's literally the final piece left of the puzzle for him, he will focus in on it after this United States title reign. And for Solo, he's still in the vortex with Jacob and Jimmy, so maybe that feud will continue there without the United States title being present. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.